Hour of The Source on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at WURDradio.com. If you are just joining us, I am Andrea Lawful Sanders, and I am your host on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 1 to 4 p.m. Listen, I keep telling y'all, when we've got good folks to come on the air, then we're going to bring good folks on, and it really warms my heart. I spend a lot of time talking to black women and women in general, but when I see a brother, yes. So Steve the Legacy is the CEO and founder of Steve the Legacy LLC. Good, you trademarked that. Steve is an inventor, author, and limiting belief specialist. He helps entrepreneurs and students connect their beliefs with their skill set by using research-based mental strategies, components of self and life experiences. My. So we're going to talk about the vision you have for yourself, as well as your goals for the future and your magazine, Black Innovation, and what it entails. Good afternoon, sir.
Wow, I'm going to have you introduce me more often, especially when I go to these speaking engagements, because I like that. That right there. So that gets the blood pumping. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So let's talk a little bit about limiting beliefs. I'm going to start there because I am surrounded by people who have such limiting beliefs for themselves. You could put the information in front of them. You could tell them you take this step, and they'll stay over there and say, you know what, you may be able to do it, but I can't do it. Let's talk about what limiting beliefs do to us and how we can get past that.
But the biggest challenge is that, we had all the different courses growing up in school, math, science, English, right? But we never understood the belief system within ourselves, right? Mm-hmm. Especially if you don't get it at home, right? Mom and dad. Because a lot of times it's that generational trauma,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't get that. So what happens is we doubt ourselves from an early age. Mm-hmm. Now, times that by some years, now you become 30, 40. Why do you think it's so many seminars for belief uplifting and go after your dreams, and you in your 40s and your 50s? Why? Because the fact is there was a lot of damage being done when we was kids. So I had that struggle, right? I was a basketball player. I had the skills. They took me to all the camps. I was nice, but all somebody had to do was talk me out of my game mentally. That's one area I never worked on, and I was done.
Wow.
And that trickled down from playing basketball to me doubting myself on other things I wanted to do, even going to school. And then it got to a point, enough is enough, right? So the challenge was I had to really understand that I have a challenge. Not a weakness, but a challenge. And how can we overcome it? There's nothing wrong with our skill set, all right? We could get all the talents. And look, nowadays, knowledge is everywhere, right? So it's no problem with the information. The thing is, do you believe that you can actually do it?
Mm-hmm.
See, that's the thing. A lot of times we don't believe that we actually, and if you can't see it, see me, I'm a visual person. If I can't see the thing truly from the ending to the beginning, then I cannot see myself even starting that process. And a lot of times what happens, most people, they can't see themselves at the end, at the finish line.
Mm-hmm.
So they already lost from the very beginning because they think that, I'm not going to win anyway.
I'm not going to win anyway.
But that's
and we also limit ourselves by our age, right? I'm a certain age, so I can't do X, Y, and Z. But I'm telling you, as long as you're drawing breath, man, you can do anything you want to do. So how did you identify that you had a challenge? How did you navigate through that challenge to get to where you are now?
Well,
Steve the Legacy.
A lot of people talk about the book Think and Grow Rich, right? And like I said, I will give that a 9, but I'm going to give you a 10. There's a book called How to Raise Your Own Salary. It's the conversation between Napoleon Hill and Andrew Carnegie, putting in action how to function the Think and Grow Rich book. People don't talk about it, but it was a conversation where he was encouraging for the philosophy for the future. Wasn't just talking to Napoleon, but what we have to go ahead and master within ourselves. So he talked a lot about us mastering our own belief. A lot of times, see, what we do is we lease our belief and our thinking to the world, right? We lease it, right? And we don't get rent for it. Everybody get to bombard you with all these different things free of charge, right? And we don't have any blockers. We don't have any doors we don't have anything that will filter through our minds and saying, no, this is not right. So when everything is coming at you all different ways, and you don't know how to decipher the good stuff or the bad stuff, then you're in trouble. So I had to learn how to decipher what was good, what was bad, what I need to work on, what I need to improve. And as I developed my skill set, my belief started to take an effect. That's why I wrote a book called Act and Grow Your Belief. Sometimes you got to get the movement going first, and then the belief will grow. A lot of times people think that, let me think about it. You can think yourself out of it, just like you can think yourself in it. How about you start moving? Movement changes the state of your mind.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have friends around me who are like that, Steve, and I kept saying to them, what's the matter? Why is it that we said we were going to do X, Y, and Z, and you're still back here trying to get moving? And you're right. This is the way I was raised. This is the trauma that I experienced when I was raised. And I experienced some of those same traumas, but it never stopped me. I was like, word, that what we doing? Okay, I'm going to go. But it shouldn't make me special. This should be the norm for us. You understand what I'm saying? Because life happens. Things happen that will push you back. I've always said there are no mistakes, they're just lessons. And so when the lessons come, what am I supposed to learn from it? Take it and move forward into the next thing. You know what I mean? And that's what I taught my own children. So let's talk about this magazine that you have. Let's, tell us a little bit about the innovation, Black innovation. All right.
It's funny. A lot of times we complain about certain things, right? And we don't act upon it, right? So I'm not trying to put these publications out there, but I was trying to get my story out. I invented some board games.
Wait. You invented board games?
Yes, I have a couple board games. One's called Dictionary Daddy. Hold on one second. Oh, one called Dictionary Daddy.
Hurry up.
Dictionary Daddy. You got Swiggle. We got the new one, Support Black Inventors. I'm trying to take. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to paint a picture that our Black youth, right, has the ability to innovate and change. And that's why one of the reasons why I came up with Black Innovation is that a lot of times our stories are not being said. Like if you're not making millions and you're not a big top company, you may not be listed in Black enterprise. But what happens to the ones that starting it, right? What happens to the one that's grinding? Where's the publication for that? That's why I created Black Innovation, because I couldn't get my story published by the big guys because, I'm still a little minute, but I've climbed up the ladders. And I said to myself, if I'm this way, if I feel this way, who else is probably feeling this way? And I'm so excited. My chief editor, my editor-in-chief, Maria Carwell, she's really taking this thing to a whole other level. And we have different companies, Black-owned, water companies. My brother, Manuel Stotts, he got a company called Immune Juice, right? Bessie, she invented a baby toys. I mean, come on, we can do the impossible. But we got to get our story out. And that was the reason why I came up with Black Innovation.
Wow. How can people find Black Innovation?
SteveTheLegacy.com and .co. Steve the Legacy is on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Okay. I find it interesting. We were talking about this at a conference just the other day, earlier this week, where we as Black folks are so creative and we do the things that others don't want to carry, then they pick it up and run with it. Let's talk a little bit about trademarking your stuff. Please tell me your stuff is trademarked.
Yeah, so that was the first thing. See, a lot of times what we don't do, we don't bet on ourselves. We're easily to go to the bodega and we get a nice little scratch off and we hope and pray, but we don't bet on ourselves. So the first thing, before I wrote anything, not one word, when that name came to mind, Black Innovation, I said that's dangerous. You know why? Because if it's not taken, I got to take it. Because if I don't take it and I do all this work and somebody come and swoop in and take that name, all that work for nothing.
Yep.
All that work for nothing. So I put it on a credit card. $300. It was like close to $300. Put it on a credit card, and just took that chance. That not make a single dime. I'm just saying, look, it got to work. And like my friend Neil Davis, he always said it has to work. Well, it has to work. So I'm like, and then another thing, don't count yourself out. I did not know how to start a magazine, but I had to research. So the best thing to do, you research who's the top. Now, who's the top? Who came up with Black Enterprise? Earl Graves. So I said, what? Now he started his thing, right? Let's see what he had to do. Take it one page at a time. After a while, I started seeing it turn into a whole magazine. I said, okay, now I'm ready. So you never say in yourself that I can't do something. As soon as you cancel yourself out saying you can't do that, your whole body, your whole mind shuts down. I said, how can I? How can I do it? If I was going to do this, how can I do it? And watch your mind go to work.
Yes.
So change your I can't to how can I? Watch your mind start just creating stuff. You're like, oh my God, I can't.
I always tell people, change your mind from I can't to I am. I have done it. I am. Everything that's in the middle of that statement is I am. I am Black Innovation. I am the owner of a magazine. I am. So those board games, are you selling them, sir?
Yes, that's on SteveTheLegacy.com. And I'm going to tell you something. Outside the board game, if you like Uno,
yes,
you're going to love my card game called 2-in-1. 2-in-1, baby. 2-in-1. Now, check this out. I found out that phase 10.
I swear, you need to be on one of them. I need you to be on Shark Tank. I need you to be. I feel like you applied twice.
I'm waiting my turn.
Okay.
But what I love about this project with 2-in-1 was that phase 10 is like the second best-selling game, right? I did not know a brother invented that, right?
Yes.
By the name of Ken Johnson. I didn't know.
Yes.
So when I found out he did, I said, you know what? I want to see if I can do it. Now, the blessing was by putting in an atmosphere, scripting what you want. He's one of my mentors now to help me get this 2-in-1 to the next level. And that's the blessing. When you start taking a chance on yourself, doors will start to open for you.
Absolutely.
Even when it's scary. And you may not have a group that's going to come along with you. You got to be okay to be by yourself. That's all I got to say. Drop the mic on that.
Drop the mic. So true. You literally have to be willing to go by yourself. The other thing that if you decide that you want to really do this and you're going to need support from people, make them sign a non-disclosure agreement, stick them in the room. They cannot talk about this stuff. You have to make sure that you airtight, earmark your stuff, buy your websites. Make sure that your name, make sure you trademark your stuff, make sure that you have a good accountant, and really, because when you put that foundation in place, Steve, the legacy, when it all starts popping up and bubbling up, you have an accountant? Yep. Your stuff trademark? Yep. Because folks look for people like you, and to steal your stuff, take your trademark, if you don't have it trademarked, they'll say, oh, it's not trademarked. We've trademarked it. Cease and desist. And they'll send their lawyers after you, right?
Yep.
Other thing I'm going to say is, as you're making the money, save some of it. Put it right back into the business. Because you're right. When you said that, I was like, yeah, he's about the business of being about the business. Because oftentimes when you first start, you have to just keep pumping it back into the business. And it was Warren Buffett that says he will not look at a business until it's failed at least twice.
I'm going to tell you something. That right there, that's a drop of mic moment.
Yep.
See, you got to be okay to fail.
Yes.
We was taught to be afraid of failure. I don't want to start because I don't want to fail. And you see how the opposite, as you get older, you're like, man, they've been lying to me for half my life.
Yep.
But when I learned, I said, what is the worst that can happen? The best thing that can happen with a no is now they know of me, right?
Exactly.
And the other best thing that can happen is they know me. So you don't lose, right? They say no to you, not right now, but eventually go from here, go from there. But the blessing, and I know about to wrap up soon. The blessing, when you start having it, like this was only a name, June 12th, and the issue was August 1st. So let's look at the time frame. June 12th, you throw it out there. And that whole thing, when you throw something out there in the atmosphere, you got to go back, you got to go and chase it, because it's almost like the radio waves. If you don't act upon it, somebody's tuning in.
Come on.
And you don't want to be the one on the couch that said that's what I'm here to see.
Come on. I like you. Come on through now. I like you. Because while you out there ruminating, somebody else is working on it. So you know how you have that thing in the back of I'm looking at it, the board that's up. I have these vision sheets all over my living room. I don't know how my husband don't have a moment yet, but every day I add something to the vision sheet. All right, I've accomplished this. Let's go look on and do that. You know what I mean? So you're constantly growing and living and changing. I'd love to meet you, but if you want to go on SteveTheLegacy.com for the magazine. Harry Williams said he just ordered one. I just ordered my Black Innovation magazine. We got to make sure folks order it. There's brilliance within us, and we have to stop buying into the narrative that we're not smart people and that we're not the ones that people are looking to take our stuff. So please, please, please go to SteveLegacy.com. Order the games, the board games. That's what I'm really interested in, because I taught my children how to learn math and everything else through board games instead of watching television. So I want to do the same thing with my grandchildren. Awesome. Thank you, my brother. It's always a pleasure. Glad to have met you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. Bye-bye. I am just loving this stuff right here. Look at Black Jesus. SteveTheLegacy.com. All right. See you later, my brother.